Welcome back to our channel, Recovery, Keeping It Real just for today. I'm Ashley Morgan.
And I'm Pierre Morgan. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with other recovering alcoholics, addicts, or wherever you're coming from. Our channel is about us just talking about recovery just for the day. We pick some topics and we talk about it. The topic is about couples and recovery. This is part 2, you know. So if you wasn't watching part 1, make sure you go subscribe and watch part 1. So we're gonna jump right into it. So we was like arguing a lot, you know, and I couldn't figure out, you know, why we was arguing so much, right? Because I literally had a rage problem, an anger problem, and I couldn't change my wife, right? I couldn't make her do what I wanted her to do. I couldn't make her see what I wanted her to see. So I remember calling my sponsor, and my sponsor tells me, like, you know, it's not your job to change her. It's your job to do work on yourself to get better in the situation, which is your marriage. So I had to really go deep inside and do work on myself, man. Because I don't got an anger problem, I got a rage problem, man. And I had to really, like, practice the first step. Like, I'm powerless. Like, I'm powerless over how my wife acts. But I'm not powerless over how I respond to my wife. See, the reason why we don't fight no more, because I respond different. I'll be like, okay, baby. You know what I'm talking about? When she get her, so I'll be okay. I learned to love her to the exact nature of who she is and where she is at that moment in time, man. You know what I'm saying? Because people have to tell me, why your marriage so good? I said, because she didn't change. I had to change, man. Because it was very difficult with two addicts being together and be on the road recovery, trying to get to know themselves, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and that's why it's important that each of us had our own recovery. Because, I mean, we came to find out really that it was because I didn't have you know, any tools to work with because of just being abstinent and not having a relationship with a sponsor or higher power, and really trying to do it on my own, and I didn't have those tools that you had. So one was progressing, you were progressing, and I wasn't, which is where the rift came in.
Yeah.
And you know, it was funny because the lady the other day in the speaker jam, she said, the disease is like a spineless mouse that can get through the cracks of our foundation.
Yeah.
And that really hit home, I think, for the both of us, because before I relapsed about a month ago, almost 2 years clean, and it was really just like that. Like the attitudes and behaviors were there, but I didn't, you know, realize it until it was already too late and I had already relapsed.
Yeah, and it was real hard because I seen her heading to a relapse. And I remember I just tried to talk to her, and I was the enemy, so I didn't know what to do, man. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was just trapped. Like I had to let my wife just crash and burn. And we ended up splitting up, and you know, and she wouldn't use. And it was so hard for me this time to forgive my wife because I was personalizing with the disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could she do that to me? You know, and I had to, and, you know, guess who shows up? My sponsor again. That's why it's good to have a sponsor, especially in a relationship, man. You know, because my sponsor gives me a different perspective on how I'm thinking. And he goes, you know, he hits me again. He says, our primary purpose is to be there for the still sick and suffering addict, and the still sick and suffering addict is your wife. I said, but I forgave her. He said, forgiving her is a daily job, you know? You know, it's a daily thing. That's why we say all we got is just for today. You know what I'm saying? And so he told me, now I got to do more work. I said, what? She used it. I got to do more work? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what the he said, yeah, because now you got to go deeper in your recovery, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always a lesson learned. It's always another lesson to be learned in recovery. So I had to go deeper into my recovery and understand that I couldn't win with the disease. Like, you know, I can't personalize when my wife was caught up in the grip. So no matter what she did, I couldn't hold her accountable. Like, she wasn't herself. She wasn't herself. And it's hard, man, because my son was unmanageable. I mean, it was just a real tough situation, you know. But practicing the first step and then I'm powerless and surrendered to my higher power when it came to my wife, it really helped me to come back and love her, you know, unconditional, and get past some stuff, you know. And so we were talking about our story. I think we didn't have the girls yet. We was going to custody for them, right? And I was going through a lot, man. I was like really not happy with myself, man, because I didn't have custody of my girls, and I ended up getting custody of my girls because what we do? We filed for the
Emergency petition.
we filed for the emergency petition, and I end up getting my girls. And so I mention this because I know a lot of people out there that's trying to get custody of kids, and I need you to hold on, man. I just want you to hold on. And I just feel like I had to say that because I've been struggling battling for my kids since I've been clean. And all odds was against me. I mean, my baby mom, they was on drugs. The CPS, remember the CPS was calling us, and I was arguing. And it was hard for me to let her be like, give me peace, like love me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm suffering with these diseases of addiction, and I was addicted to pain. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard for me to let go of pain. So,
I think that situation though, like, it came down to you trying to control things that you couldn't control.
Yeah.
And when, you know, when it was all said and done, and looking back on it, all we had to do is let time be time. Time take time, and trust the process. But in the moment of waiting, and in the moment of knowing that, you know, the kids are going through what they're going through, and you wanting to be able to just control the situation, really not being able to is hard for you.
Yeah, that's hard. It says when you in control, you out of control. You know what I'm saying? That's what's how our literature talks about. Cause we don't control nothing. That's what it is. I mean, I said that first step is very vital in all areas of your life. You feel me? Cause I had to give up control. I had to give up defeat. You know what I'm saying? In all areas of my life, the powerless. I had to live that in my marriage. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only why it's peaceful. Like I deal with like pride, lust issues. I just don't respond to it. Like I told people, like, yeah, we've been faithful. It's been me and her. How I do it, I just don't respond to it. You know what I'm saying? About when she gets me mad, I just say, oh well. You know what I'm saying? I try to find the joy in my wife. So when I don't find it, when she's making me mad, I have something to hold on to. So I advise you as men, when your woman's making you mad, man, find some tools. Like we say, find some tools in recovery. Find some tools that'll keep you loving your wife when you can't love your wife, or when you can't love your girlfriend. You get what I'm saying to you?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's also important, to have a relationship with your higher power, because, you know, the first, I would say, year and a half of our relationship, you know, I knew who God was, and I had a relationship with God, but how do I say this without saying it? Like, I put you as my higher power.
Yeah.
You know, I depended on my husband to make me happy. I depended on my husband to heal my problems, to fix my problems, to heal my pain. And when, you know, when he wasn't able to do that, you know, because he's a recovering addict too, like, when he wasn't able to, you know, tell me everything was going to be okay, because he wasn't feeling everything was going to be okay at that point, then who did I turn to?
Yeah, and I you know, before I came to the program, I liked that. A woman had me, you know, I'm this, to count on me. But when I realized I can't save my own life, you know what I'm talking about? I don't need that pressure. It's hard enough trying to stay clean, you know what I'm saying, than trying to keep somebody else clean. You know what I'm saying? So I never wanted to be a higher power, because I knew I knew I was gonna mess up, man. You know, I didn't want to have that title, man. You know, and I wasn't insecure enough, because usually when I was insecure, I wanted a woman to put me to this pedestal. You feel what I'm saying? And the reality is that I wasn't this pedestal. I was a broken man. You know what I'm saying? She was a broken woman. They say you can't make a masterpiece out of broken pieces. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to fix yourself. So we learn how to fix ourselves from the inside, so we're not using each other. So our love for each other is genuine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It has to be genuine. You know what I'm saying? Because most relationships I ever got with, you know what I'm saying, it was either lust, or I needed to use you for something. I went into the situation expecting to be positive results. You know what I'm saying? Like, the brain is crazy, man. You know, and I stay faithful to my wife, because I did a pros and cons. Do pros and cons. Write the pros and the cons in whatever relationship you in, you know what I'm saying, and does it benefit you, or is it more negative to you? Because it's always, you know, it's good to write pros and cons, because it shows you the value of your spouse. You know, when you lose the gratitude in your woman or your man, it's good to write down the list. You know what I'm saying? Because then I will see the blessings I have with a person. Like, you can miss those, because we suffer from a disease that's always trying to put us in a painful situation, and we're not, you know, to show gratitude to the person of everything she do. So I had to really write down, say, well, my wife cooks, my wife does this, my wife do this, so I can cherish those things, man. And then when I separate from her, I had to do all these things by myself. I said, oh no, I want my wife back. You know what I'm talking about? And So yeah, the relapse is, it was hard because I had to really deal with it and get outside my pride. Cause I just collected 2 years, and she would be collecting 2 years. You know, so it was real difficult. So I don't really know as far as the women. She's better with that.
I think that I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. The way that I relapsed, although it was a relapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did have to start my clean time over. I feel like you ever heard that song "Gracefully Broken"?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like it was done to a way that would wake me up and shake me up, but not to end me. And I feel like it needed to happen. I feel like it needed to happen so that you could have your freedom and your recovery and time for you to recover and me not depend on you so much for recovery. And also for me to open my eyes to my own lack of recovery. Remember that speaker jam we went to and the lady from Philadelphia said that she had been loitering with the intent to recover?
Yeah.
And that clicked with me. I don't know if it's because I'm a criminal, right?
Yeah.
But loitering with the intent to recover. It's being abstinent without actually solving any issues or getting through any, traumas that you've been through to figure out why it is we went to the drug in the first place. Loitering without the intent to recover is pretty much just, flying by.
Yeah, and you're right, because I say this like all the time, right? I was never a part-time addict. I never told dope boy, at least I have it. Hey, let me get half of a line. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted the whole thing. So in order for recovery to work, I had to be in full time. Like I really had to understand why did I use from the first part. Because we said like the drug was just a symptom of the problem, but the problem is you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, me personally, I've been away from the drug for 2 years, but my disease has manifested clean.
Lottery.
Without compulsive, obsessive, over things, still trying to fill the empty void.
And I can relate to that with food.
Yeah, she loves food.
80 pounds, right?
But I love her thickness.
Well, that's fine, and I love you. But 80 pounds in 2 years is not healthy. And if filling the void with an outside source when it's an inside job is never going to have a good outcome.
Yeah, and I never, and I stay out of it because I don't know what to say. If I tell her, hey, listen, want to work out? Shit, what you say? I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? If I say, baby, I love your chubbiness. Oh, you love this chubby stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I say I love every inch of her, So if you're in a relationship, let your wife have her own process. I asked my mom, what should I do? She said, you're just supposed to be open ears and soft, loving, kind words. That's all you're supposed to do. And let her blossom in her own way. If she falls, just beat her to pick her hand up. You get what I'm saying? And that's real hard when you love somebody. Especially men, we want to be like, oh, we'll protect you from everything. But we're not God. If you don't have God ahead of your relationship, it's very hard. It's very hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to live, because I dealt with insecurities. So I used to always say, you cheating on me, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me. And now, because the disease will come to me, oh, she's cheating on you. And all of a sudden I'd be mad. You ever wake up and get a crazy thought about the woman you love? You're like, where does shit come from? And she did everything right. So I learned that was my insecurity. So by me building a relationship with a higher power and trusting in my higher power that he will protect me if my wife could do something wrong, it allowed me to love her. Even when I think like that, she doesn't even know that. Because I don't respond to it no more. It's no point of me yelling at her, yeah, you're going to cheat on me. Because a person going to do you wrong, listen, it don't matter what you say, they're going to do you wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it's a benefit for you. Because you don't waste your time no more. That's how I look at it. It's always a positive, And this is a good one, right? We always put the cares of our heart on the table. Because I can do everything right for her and think that I'm doing good. But if I don't do the cares of her heart, then it doesn't matter. She won't see everything I do good.
That's why communication is so important.
Yeah.
I think I said this a little bit yesterday about how I would rather not talk about something so that there wasn't a conflict or there wasn't a argument, projecting that there would be an argument, right? Because that's what I do. And instead of talking about what was bothering me, then I would just hold on to that and eat it up, you know what I mean? And eventually then it would display itself in my attitude eventually, and then here comes the blow up, right? So it's important. It was important for us to have open and honest communication on both parts. You know, one person can't be saying how they feel and how things make them feel without the other doing that. And you can't expect, I can't expect you to be a mind reader.
Nah.
You know, and I did that a lot.
I'm not.
I did that a lot. I would expect you to see things how I see them. Or, you know, things that bothered me, I expected you to know that bothered me because you're my husband. So open and honest communication is very important. Very important.
And I advise you, like, if you're in a relationship, to have many people help you, get different perspectives on how to deal with the situation in a relationship. Especially we're two recovering addicts. It's very hard because we was doing. I had a program, that she didn't have a program. It was so hard to do it. You know what I'm saying? We both love each other, so it's very hard to do without a program. It's very hard to do if y'all both not working the program. If y'all both not building a relationship with higher power. If y'all both ain't hungry to stay clean and get and work on the character defects that we talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you do the work in recovery, it makes your relationship a lot more better. You get what I'm saying? So it's like recovery does not only teach you how to stay clean, it teaches you how to have a good relationship with yourself and your spouse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad, I just fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to really make this channel to address, relationships, because they always say it was two addicts can't be together. But yes, you can. As long as y'all both working on y'all program and, you know what I'm saying, and building your relationship with your higher power and actually doing the work, you know what I'm saying, then y'all can have a relationship. We got 7 kids, man, and we doing it.
I think I have to stress this, and I don't think I can stress this enough about how important it is. Coming from a woman's perspective, right? Because naturally, in a relationship, the man is supposed to lead, right?
Yeah.
The man is supposed to lead in a relationship naturally. So women, this is very important because this was my downfall eventually. The fact that I did not think that I needed to have my own recovery. The fact that I thought that by being a mom of 7 kids, working a full-time job, managing a household, and catering to my husband would keep me clean. Having the illusion that having a normal life would keep me clean, and I didn't need recovery, and I didn't need, to go through in our program step work or, through the things that had brought me to the drug. I cannot stress this enough, the importance of having your own recovery. Women, I hope you're paying attention, right? Because had my husband not been as strong in his recovery as he was, when I went and relapsed, he would have came with me.
Yeah, the disease always wants 2 for 1. Always wants 2 for 1. And I'm gonna explain something about men. It's very important that you get honest about how you feel. Like, we don't like to be weak, but it's very honest because I never wanted to tell her I was scared of her hurting me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was never scared to open up.
So it come off as pride.
So it come off pride and anger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to really get the relationship. I had to tell her my fears. Like, this is what, so the anger can go. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you less of a man if you tell her, your woman, like, listen, man, this bothers me. I'm scared of being hurt, so you can heal. Because, yes, a lot of us men are broken, man. We're broken. And I need to address this, man. It's okay for you to share how you feel, man. And then you to be vulnerable, man. It's okay, man. Because, it's okay for you to understand that you don't know how to have a successful relationship. You don't know how to fix the problems in your marriage, or you don't know how to fix your wife. It's okay for you to get help with your spouse.
No, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? But not any help. Get the right type of help. Don't go to a person that's single and wow, and care. But go to a person that's married, that's having
has had the
same problems and working on them problems and still, pushing forward. Get as much help you need. It's like, listen, man. You know how we went to the drug? We went everywhere for the drug, man. Go everywhere for the recovery, man. Free yourself from your own pain, man. So your relationship can be at peace, man. So you can be at peace, man. Because soon as the disease comes to me, About my wife, I tell her, "Hey, baby, I'll be thinking about this." And she's like, "Yeah, really?" And then I gotta look at the evidence that my wife is not doing me no wrong. You feel me? Again, we suffer from a disease that's always trying to bring us to the desperation, always trying to bring us to the guilt, the shame. Understand how it operates, man. It works through people, places, and things. That's how it operates. But we don't gotta respond to it the same. You know what I'm talking about? So, we're gonna leave it off like that, you know, and tomorrow we're gonna make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you let us know some questions, and we're gonna talk about some topics and next time. You know, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. If you give some topics, we'll talk about. I hope you loved our show. You know, make sure you stay clean, and we'll show you PJ real quick. PJ, yeah, hello.
Hi, PJ.
Say hi, PJ. He not paying attention. Well, this is just for the day, keeping it real, and we're out.